Now, what's amazing about the movie, it's a very stylish. I don't know if you're comfortable with Australian film noir, but it seems to me that's kind of a big rubric. I didn't know anything about you when I saw the film, and then I started reading about your background. To come out of the world of stunts, I would have expected a very different kind of film. Did you consciously work against the...
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely in Australia, people expected me to make an action film, and I don't know, I don't like doing what everyone expects me to do, I guess. And you know, my brother had written this story, and I thought it was really compelling, and it just was the film I wanted to make.
You want to just set it up, give us the premise, or...
Sure, yeah. Well, it's called The Square, and it's about a guy having an affair with a younger woman, and through some choices they both make to try and steal some money and run away together, their lives take a turn for the worse and kind of spiral out of control. It's kind of a how not to guide to have an affair.
Yes, I know.
If you're thinking of having one, it's a good sort of thing to see before you do. Just, you know, you can still have the affair, just maybe don't do some of the things that Ray and Carla do.
Talk to me about how you envision what film noir is, and then how your film is and isn't traditional film noir.
Well, I guess, you know, film noir is, you know, you set up the expectation that things are going to go bad, and so, you know, I definitely, I guess, live up to that. And beyond that, I tried to work against some of the conventions, which I think as an audience you just kind of put on the film yourself. Like, the girl is not a typical femme fatale, but I think people just assume that she is, you know. And also, you know, it's a lot of the film's set during the daytime, and I kind of want to show that bad things can happen even in the daytime, rather than all just in the shadows. And then I guess the other difference is I tried to play it as real as possible. And, you know, there's no kind of heightened characters. They're all very real people, and the decisions they make are very feasible, and you know, they're just ordinary people. And I guess I wanted to show that bad things can happen to ordinary people, and in that way make it very accessible and relatable. That, you know, maybe I could make the bad decisions that Ray makes, and
yeah.
But ultimately, if you like watching, you know, people who do bad things get punished, then the film is for you.
There you go, get their comeuppance.
Yeah.
This is your first film, right?
It is, yeah.
And it's incredibly accomplished for a first film. Now, I know you spent you know, your professional life around movies, I guess, if you're a stuntman, but still, it's remarkably polished. And the thing is, and this is before I knew, again, anything about you or your brother, but it reminded me of that when I saw Blood Simple for the first time. And now, with the fact that you and your brother is an actor in the movie, and he wrote the screenplay and all this, are you comfortable or uncomfortable with any comparisons people might make to the now famous Coen brothers?
Well, it's definitely flattering, you know. I think, obviously, you know, there are similarities in that we're brothers, and we made a film, and our first film is film noir. But the Coen brothers have made a lot more films than we have, so you know, I guess as flattering as it is, it'd probably be easier to take if in 10 years' time, if I've made a bunch more films that have done as well as they have.
Now, I want to double check: is the short, The Spider, going to be playing with the movie in its release?
Everywhere. It's released around the country. Spider's on the front of it.
So this is an unbelievable movie that I cannot recommend highly enough to people. You know, some of the problems with shorts is they're not long enough to allow the audience to have, to receive much of an impact in this movie. This movie comes out of the chute, and I just think, how long is it? It's
like 9 minutes.
9 minutes. It's a fantastic movie, and I'm trying to talk vaguely about it because I don't want to give anything away, but I cannot recommend it highly enough. But I'd like to get at least a little sense of how you went about doing this. Did you and your brother script it, or how did that come about? Because it has that same kind of dark and unexpected and humorous in some ways feel that you ended up capturing so well in The Square as well.
The Spider, that was my idea. It was like a combination of a bunch of things that happened when I was a kid, and you know, the saying at the start of the film, "It's all fun and games until someone loses an eye," was something my mum would say when I was a kid. I was going to say this.
You credit Mum.
Yeah, and I think you know, I'm sure I'm not the only person whose mother has said that or something similar to that to them as they're growing up doing stupid things, and I guess I wanted to you know, I always wondered where that saying came from, so I thought I'd make where I thought the saying came from. And I really wanted the audience to get a sense of what kind of film they're in for when they see the square, and just put them on the edge of the seat before the film began.
Yes. People will be scratching their head about, is this the movie or isn't it? Anyway, nicely done, sir. Nicely done.